Live.
All right. It's April 24th. This is another edition of Headliners. Today we're going to talk about Steven Spielberg backing it up, WGA Crisis with Writers, and we're going to wrap it up a little bit of Thrones talk again this week. It's the usual three, Jimmy, Dave, and myself. Well, let's get into this.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
I've seen 3 movies in my life. Bridge on the River Kwai, Patton, and Herbie Fully Loaded.
You serious, Clark? I always thought.
Is that your thing? You come into a bar, you read some obscure passage, and then pretend you pawn it off as your own?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? Did that go the way you thought it was going to go?
Nope. All right, this last weekend's box office, April 19th through the 21st. Opening at number 1, debut week, The Curse of La Llorona. A terrible-looking movie, in my opinion. Made $26.3 million. I couldn't even get through the trailer. I know it's a thriller and horror, and that's not really my type of thing, but still, the story looks like
I think it's part of, like, the Conjuring universe, which those are supposed to... I actually haven't seen those, but they're supposed to be good, like a good horror series.
Is it really?
It looked like a bad horror movie, like... objectively, like not just my own opinion.
I agree with you. So I have no idea how this one is. I just know the Conjuring series is supposed to be a good series, and I think this is part of it.
I mean, it must be. 26.3 is
not
still,
officially.
Is it like set in the universe but not tied in or something like that?
If it was, the Conjuring's, I don't like horror movies really, but the Conjuring movies are really well done. They're like that TV show, Haunting of Hill House or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The Conjurings are like that, but this headline from Forbes says, "Who gets to decide if Curse of La Llorona is part of the Conjuring universe?" Which makes me think people are like saying, "Oh, that's the same as that," but it's not actually. Because like the other Conjurings have been like the
very tight, one story.
They're like, "This is this."
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So might reference.
I bet this was made like vague enough that if it did well and people loved it, they could like retcon it into the Conjuring universe in like a future movie.
All right, so here's some info. Despite poor reviews and Warner Brothers swearing up and down that it wasn't technically part of the Conjuring universe, the director and at least one co-star might disagree. The religious horror flick still pulled down strong numbers. So it seems like I don't understand.
So if it's the director, who is it? James Wan? Didn't he do The Conjuring?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
so
he did the first one. But I don't know if he directed this.
Oh. I don't know.
Well, there we go. All right. By the way, number 2 this week was Shazam. 16.4.
Boo.
Yep. Number 3 is Breakthrough. Do you guys know what that one was? It's the opening weekend.
No, Breakthrough
by Fox.
To the other side.
Million. Not that. And 4th place was Captain Marvel, getting a little bump up for people preparing to go to Endgame. And then rounding the top 5 is Little, the same universe as Big.
I saw an article that said this was the worst Easter weekend in a decade.
Really?
Movies. Yeah. But it also said the reason why is because no movie wanted to come out this weekend and then be destroyed next week.
Which is fair.
With Avengers, so everyone's just avoiding this part of the year.
Except for The Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of a different audience for the most part.
I think it is. Jimmy, do you find out what Breakthrough is yet?
Yeah, it looks like a bad movie that would make me cry my eyes out.
Ooh.
Okay, so the fat girl, that was mean.
That was a terrible way to start.
That was mean. The sister from This Is Us, the heavy one.
Oh, I know this.
I've never seen This Is Us.
This was terrible.
This looks like a Disney movie, and then the dad from the basketball movie, he's in some other, I have no idea where to place him from. Mm-hmm. They have an adopted son together. He breaks through ice in Lake Michigan and is like freezing.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this before, like every fucking movie. This movie looks awful.
This is the God movie.
Yes, this is the God
movie. Definitely a religious movie, right?
Yes, it is.
The whole thing's about how God saves this kid's life and brings him back, and the mom convinces the town to pray for him instead of use medicine.
Yeah, they prayed the death away, and they won.
So I mean, I don't like religion much. I think it's silly. but I don't care if you like religion.
Mhm.
But they make me cry.
Oh yeah, this like I am so excited that this movie is out, so that I will not be seeing the trailers ahead of movies anymore.
It looks like poorly made. Like it looks.
No,
like,
yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's like
it has
top shit.
Topher Grace in it too.
The trailer is basically the movie. I just watched the whole movie.
Yeah,
That was stupid of them.
doctors saying your son died.
They
You don't
showed him
tell me-
fall through the ice.
You don't tell me he's dead. I'm gonna pray he's gonna come alive again. You don't tell me he's dead yet. And then she prays.
And then the
him.
doctor's like, the medicine won't work. Like, we don't have sufficient medicine for it. And she's like, just do your best. God will fix it.
His blood stopped pumping. His heart's dead.
Yeah.
This is crazy because that was the trailer gave away the whole story. I saw all those scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a dumb trailer. They basically made a short film and then a really, really long one.
All right. So
All
I mean, they made $11.2 million off of that trailer. Good for them.
So moving into headliners, this week Spielberg is officially a little bitch after his comments about a month or two ago, where he said any Netflix or Hulu or Amazon movie should be up for an Emmy and not an Oscar. And he's been petitioning the Academy to ban all of them from even being eligible. The government was like, if you do that, it's against the law. And so the Academy said, fuck you, we're not doing that. And then today or yesterday, Spielberg walked back it, being like, no, I love those. I still support those films. I think they're great. I just want to save the theater experience, which I actually agree with that. I like the theater experience, but fuck him. He's just trying to save face.
It's a pretty bad attempt, right?
Oh yeah, really
Yeah.
tough spin zone to try to attempt.
Like I like, or I agree with him where he's like, there is something to like going to the theater. Like tomorrow night,
Yeah.
we're seeing Endgame with the crowd, opening night. There's going to be some movie magic to that.
But that's just not what he said.
Yeah, that's not what he said at first. He was blatantly like, no, they're TV movies. They don't deserve Oscars.
There's Jake and I had this conversation earlier. I don't know if it was on a show or just we had this conversation, but about how there's some people out there like in Hollywood or just kind of older that they don't live on the internet, right? So they don't look at the internet a lot. So Spielberg doesn't look on the internet a lot. So he probably doesn't even know what the term spin zone is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that people aren't dumb. Like I think back in 1980, he could say this and it goes in some newspapers and people who don't believe it just kind of don't believe it at their own house. And they're like, wow.
Not even like
shit.
1980. I feel like you could have got away with this like 15 years ago.
Yeah. And you just say like people in their own house would just be like, that's a crock of shit. But now with the internet, like everyone just responds and then people see the responses and like, yeah, that is a crock of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is spin zoning. And like you can't get away with these just excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's dumb.
He's dumb. And the Academy's staying the same because if they're good at one thing, it's not changing. So keep on
They
keeping on.
changed something that we'll get to later.
Woo!
Precursor.
Well, teaser.
Okay. All right. Following up from last month, we talked about Britney Spears checking herself into a mental health facility. Her father is dying. She's having a hard time with it, a lot of anxiety, and some people are being mean, saying she was in a mental institution. It was terrible. Not us. This week, she had to post a video saying that she's okay and not being held against her will because some people were sending her team and her family death threats, believing that she had been held captive and that this whole mental health thing was a ruse. So,
I gotta say, I think she's being held captive now.
oh yeah?
When you release a video that says, I am not being held captive, immediately I'm like, she's being forced to release the video.
That's because her family's getting death threats.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
That's
This is like the internet. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, yeah, you're exactly right. The fact that she had to release a statement says, "Hey, no, I'm not being held captive," makes it really seem like she's being held captive. Because I had no idea about it up until the point where she said she wasn't being held captive. So now that was in my brain. It didn't even cross my mind before. I'm not seeking out Britney Spears information. Now I did this afternoon.
I thought, did you already say what you thought? I thought what you said is good. Like, people just think she's being, like, in a psych ward.
Yeah.
Like, they have no idea what mental health facility means. And that's why we need more people to, like, do this and say, no, I was having a really hard time, so I went to professionals who can help me.
I know. So some people out there are just stupid and don't live in 2019 and don't understand that mental asylums do not exist anymore.
And none of those people are on this pod.
Not even one.
For
So,
shame.
so yeah, Jimmy.
I'm up.
You're
Seems
up.
important. What? So this is the big story. The Writers Guild of America. When you read this headline, it's crazy. The Writers Guild of America has 8,800 members, and this week, 7,000 of them fired their agents. And they say the only people that didn't fire their agents are really old and retired or just inactive members of the Writers Guild. I did so much digging because the article is confusing.
Very.
And then I went like on Reddit, I went all these places trying to figure out like what's going on. And even the articles I could understand the most were still pretty confusing. But what it comes down to is that the agents in Hollywood are just getting away with as much as possible. And they're trying to make as much money as possible off writers and hurting the writers.
Yes.
So they're grouping writers together and doing them wholesale, or they are asking. I read some agencies ask now not for they ask for money up front from the agency for their writer,
Okay.
and then tack on the percentage as well. And the writers didn't really know this was happening, but that cuts in. Say like, you know, you have we'll dumb it down to $100, and you're getting 10% of my $100, and you say, well, yeah, you have to pay him, but you have to pay me too. So you give the agent $10, and then he gets 10. So that knocks down the whole thing to $90 for the writer. Plus, he's still giving the agent 10%. So the agent's doubling up. And there's all this type of shady stuff going on.
Yeah,
but it's crazy that they mass fired.
A friend of mine also told me that they, in addition to that, they're also the agents are getting these like bonus fees for packaging their clients together. So on top of the stuff that they're already getting money for, it's like a royalty. Like, oh, here's an extra. If it's like $100 thing, what you just said, here's a $50 for the process of giving me 3 instead of 1.
I always think it's awesome when you can have a mass like walkout.
Oh, that's
like
the coolest thing.
You can organize everyone to be on the same page.
Yes.
It's always great. Because
if this headline said 70 writers a week for the past month, that would 7,000 of their 8,000 members. That grabbed me.
But didn't the writer's strike happen like a decade ago? Didn't it fix any problems then?
It was. I mean, no, I can't speak to that because I don't know enough about the writers. I thought they were better now.
Me neither. And I think it's interesting that you should know, like, Writers Guild of America isn't just authors. It isn't just like screenwriters. I was reading, it was the people who write the blurbs on video games are represented by Writers Guild of America. Like there's tons of different avenues and scraps and little things like that.
Mm.
I won a free Writers Guild of America book once.
You won it?
Yeah.
How'd you win it?
I entered a short story into a contest.
So what's in this book? Like everyone's names or what?
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's names of agents and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a shitty prize. It's like,
well, I mean, it's good if you want to try and get an agent. But
that's true. Well, not anymore. Actually, do you still have that book?
It's probably somewhere. But I've lived in 5 houses in the last 4 years, so I don't know where.
Collector's item.
Yeah.
It says, look at all these people that they just fired in a mass exodus.
It's kind of cool.
It is.
Cool.
So, yeah. All right, Dave, you want to talk about Disney?
Yeah, so Walt Disney's grandniece says that the current Disney chairman and CEO, Bob Iger's salary is insane, which it is. It's $65.6 million a year. But he's made Disney unstoppable, and he deserves all the money that they want to throw at him.
He's quite the businessman, and the $65 million is
people forget before he took over, Disney was mainly releasing like direct-to-home sequels of their greatest hits. And like they were very close to going down the tubes in like the late 90s, early 90s, whenever it was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about how like they're still a viable company, but like not what they are. Like they were a fraction of what they are today. They're a powerhouse.
I have a question, and I have no idea if this is the dumbest question ever asked or if this is an interesting point. Where do you think $65 million a year ranks in salaries in America? Because I feel like anyone else that pulls in $65 million a year, they are their own business. Like Chernin, he has his own.
Oh,
or
Cherny gets
they're
more than that. I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel like he's
or like
200.
or like they invest, or they are investors or business, or you know what I mean. Not like get a salary from a company.
Okay, I got a good benchmark for you. All right, a company that we all know and is a powerhouse, the NFL. Roger Goodell, the commissioner, I think he gets paid $42 million a year. So that's a good benchmark, right?
Fucking insane.
That's so much money.
I know, but like
You could just pay me that once, not even a year, just once, and I would be set for like my entire life, and my kids' life, and my grandkids' life.
Of course you would, but I mean, Roger Goodell deals with he deals with nothing but shit every day. People throw nonsense and crap, and they hate him. They hate every bone of his body every day. Bob Iger goes to work, and he is God. Everyone loves him. Nobody hates Bob Iger except for this grandniece of his. I don't know. It was Roy Disney. Is that Walt Disney's brother?
I think so.
I'm assuming so. She's got Disney in her name. Who cares about her?
Yeah, I mean,
You think
she's
this
set
guy's
for
wife
life
is
too.
hot?
Her net worth's crazy, I'm sure.
Do I think Bob Iger's wife is hot? I'm gonna guess yes.
Her name's
And
Willow Bay.
I know his mistress is gorgeous, probably.
Whoa, allegedly.
Alleged.
Oh no, she's attractive, but she is
Age appropriate.
yes, age
All those are the
appropriate.
best types.
Yeah, she is very, very pretty. But
Is she? Shoot over a picture.
Just Google Willow Bay.
That's so much work.
Willow Bay.
I think she's older, but she's now some pictures. No, she's pretty. She's attractive.
She's a very pretty old lady.
Oh,
Not even. I wouldn't call her old. I would call her. She's on the upper half, of course, but
Yeah, in the pink sweater there, she looks nice.
okay, cool.
All right.
All right, is this me up now? Yep, cool. Misleading headline. I was perusing the internet and found Pamela Anderson is furious because a fundraiser raised $112,000 for repairs to the Notre Dame Cathedral instead of French children in need. Which, if you've been on the internet the past week, people are freaking out over all these donations, saying that, oh, well, why give the money to this building when you have people starving in Africa? All this yada yada yada, and it's a little bit annoying. So I thought this was just another case of that. It's not. She was bullshit because they raised $112,000 for the repairs at a gala to raise money for French children in need, which I think is completely fucked up.
Yeah, so like people showed up thinking it was like helping these kids, and then at the end they're like, "Oh no, the money's going to Notre Dame this year."
Well, it was a silent auction, and then there was for each auction you could buy something, and so they raised in total they did raise $400,000 for the kids, but one item was to be a benefactor of or be a whatever in help with Notre Dame Cathedral, and one guy spent $112,000. And she was like, "What the fuck? Why wouldn't you just give that to the kids? What we were here for?" I think she's got a fair point.
What did that guy donate to the kids? That's the question here. If he gave like 100, if he gave the same amount to both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that dude came and how much did he give to the fountain?
$112,000.
So if he gave $112,000 to Notre Dame, but he also gave $112,000 to the kids, and he was like, "Well, I gave what I was going to give to the kids, but I saw this too, so I'm doubling up." Fair game. If he
think he gave like $50,000 to the kids, it's still fair game. That's still a shit ton of money to help them.
No, you gotta pay respect to who you went there for. I agree with Pamela there, but if he didn't give any money to the kids and just gave money to Notre Dame, I'm on Pamela Anderson's side. That's right.
No, if he didn't give any money to the kids, I agree with you. But I think the item only sold as much because it was for Notre Dame and all that. So if they just sold it for the kids, it probably would have been like $12,000.
It'd be like if Sheehan invited us over to his house for a nice party, and I showed up and gave you a gift, Dave, and not Sheehan.
That's only if he didn't give anything to the kids. We don't know if he didn't give anything to the kids.
We don't know. But if you think about $112,000 and they made $400,000 that night, so 20% of the earnings of that night went to a completely different charity. So it's a little weird.
But you agree with us, if he gave the same amount to both, it's fine.
Oh, money is money, and you're giving it your charity is charity. I mean, I think it's fine. It's a little weird. There are a 1,000 avenues you can take to donate $110,000 to the Notre Dame Cathedral. It was a little weird that he chose to do it. I mean, it could have been a convenience thing that was there. Like Dave said, just, oh, look at this. Pop it there. Sign my name. Whatever.
Well,
But it was one of the most confusing headlines. I didn't even like include the fact that there was a French soccer team involved. The story was the most convoluted story in the world. So Pamela Anderson, French soccer team, children, Notre Dame, a gala with charity. It was just a whole bunch of like weird things that don't belong together.
giving away a lot of money. You know who could use some money? Roman Polanski.
But
He's an Academy Award-winning director, and he got arrested because he was like, "Oh, guess what? I used to have sex with children." And they said, "Okay, well, you're in jail now, and you're kicked out of the Academy." Now he's suing the Academy for them kicking him out. But seemed very much like, bad guy alert.
yeah,
And kick him out.
it seemed a little 40 years too late.
Yeah.
They gave him an Oscar like 10 years ago.
What's his best movie?
They gave it to him for The Pianist.
Yeah.
Pianist.
Um,
It's his saddest movie.
So I agree. Like there's, like, it's just kind of too little, too late at this point. Like, who the fuck cares about Roman Polanski anymore?
A lot of people do.
Well, I mean, I think
That's
he
not
should be in jail,
true.
but like, it's
Well, it's not
No.
true.
No one cares about him.
Well, no, people cared that like he got an award. I mean,
But I mean,
he
he's still-
admitted to fucking a 13-year-old girl, and then he fled the country because he was afraid that it might come back on him. Which
well, that's
It worked.
actually not what he did. Fuck a child, and he should go to jail for that. But that's not why he fled the country.
because he had a plea deal, and then
He had
he
a plea
thought,
deal, and he was out. He was in France shooting a movie, and he was going to come back and like do whatever the plea deal was. And someone in the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office, or whatever, gave him a heads up saying the judge is just going to throw out the plea deal, and that the prosecutors agreed with, and give you like a crazy amount of time in jail.
yeah, because he fucked a
Just for
13-year-old.
reference,
He absolutely should, but I
Yeah.
think if you're in another country and you're like, well, I can just stay here, I can understand why someone would say, fuck that, I'm not going back now.
just for reference, he was 44 when she was 13.
Even
Yes.
grosser.
Super fucked.
So,
He also has a ton of mental health problems too, which
Oh.
Well, I would think so. That's
yeah, I mean,
has to play
he was
part
a
of it.
Holocaust survivor. He was homeless for years after the Holocaust because his
Dave,
family
don't
was
make us
dead.
feel bad about this guy.
And
Yeah,
then
man.
his wife was killed by Charles Manson while she was pregnant.
No, she wasn't.
Sharon
Charles
Stone?
Manson had nothing to do with it. He just told him to do it.
Oh, all right. I was very confused for a second.
Charles Manson never actually killed anybody. How weird is that?
He's a cult leader.
Exactly. No, he wasn't a good guy. I'm saying.
But yeah, fuck Roman Polanski. He should be in jail.
And I think he's mostly pissed off the fact that he was expelled the same day as Bill Cosby, and he was like, "That's unfair." I think
I mean,
that's
it's not really unfair. But
it's-
also, did you know, like, he's expelled from the Academy, which just means he can't vote on things. His movies are still eligible to win awards.
yeah. No, it's if he was smart, he'd be like, "All right, well, I want this thing to go away as soon as possible. I'm not going to keep bringing up the fact that I fucked a 13-year-old every
Yeah.
time he talks."
His movies, his list of movies isn't that impressive in my brain anymore.
No, but I mean, he's still well known.
Tess, Pirates, Frantic, King of Ads, Bitter Moon, Death and the Maiden, The Ninth Gate.
Well, I think you have to look at anything after he left as kind of like, well, that's shitty. Because like no major studios are working with him or anything anymore.
Yeah.
that was from 1974 to 1999. Just right.
Oh, well, fuck.
See, it's bad.
Pianist.
The only ones I know is The Pianist and Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist, The Ghostwriter, Carnage, whatever.
Nice.
It's not looking good.
No.
Oh,
Oh, what the?
hold on. Just a little ad, a 9-second ad.
This is what happened to me last week.
This is what happened to you last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it didn't play right.
It's okay. We good time. Game of Thrones talk on SBC, on SBC, on SBC.
All right, let's talk about Game of Thrones. Spoilers
All
if you don't watch. Sorry if you watch and you haven't been up to date. That's on you.
I mean, that's just dumb. If you haven't
We're
watched it,
4
turn
days
us off.
after the episode now.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Dave, are you still on your hot take that's top 5 episode of all time? Because I don't want to have
Yes.
a big argument.
I don't think that's a hot take. It's very well received from like fans who aren't just looking for action.
Let's just move past our personal rankings of these things. Let's just talk about the content of the because we're never going to agree on that. Agreed? Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed or not
yeah.
agree?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I didn't like the episode, but I mean, I don't watch Game of Thrones for the characters because they kill them off every second. Like after Ned Stark died and then the Red Wedding, I said, okay, not going to get attached to anyone here. I'm just going to follow the storyline. So like when it's just characters, I don't care. Like Brienne of Tarth getting knighted was a cool scene. Everything else in the episode, I didn't care. I didn't care
disagree with that. I mean, I'm.
But
we're fans of storytelling, and the characters are a major part of it. And
but in my mind, Game of Thrones, like I watch Game of Thrones literally for the characters. The dragons and like the other shit is just bonus.
Well, I don't like the dragons, but like I like the plot,
but like the action stuff and like the plot and all that. I watch it for the character interactions.
Yes, I'm different. I know that I'm different. Like Band of Brothers, Deadwood, I could watch those characters do anything because I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
But Game of Thrones, I watch for the conniving and the plotting, and we haven't even gotten plotting really.
Well, you're not going to get much of that. I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't realize, that it's like the last chapter of a book.
It's survival.
There's no more besides like maybe 1 or 2 twists. There's no more like conniving and plotting. Like it's just wrapping up.
I think there's a ton left.
There's some twists coming at you, Dave. Come on.
I mean, there's twists in like who lives and dies and like who betrays who. But I think people who are expecting a lot of conniving and plot, like that type of thing, that's just not what happens in like the last chapter of a book.
Dave, Cersei's
it's just
still
things
alive.
are revealed.
Yeah, like Cersei's still alive. Like there's going to be so much that has to happen.
She can't breathe without conniving.
Yeah, and like okay. So, and this episode was really heavy-handed, and Game of Thrones isn't heavy-handed usually. Like, we know exactly who's going to die in battle now.
I don't think so.
They wrapped up probably 90% of the cast's like character arcs. It could be anyone goes next week.
I mean, I'd be shocked if Grey Worm isn't dying, Brienne of Tarth isn't dying. Fuck, I can never remember this guy's name, and it pisses me off because I know it. The eye patch guy.
Oh, I love him.
Beric.
Yeah. All right, those three.
Tormund could die. Jaime could die. Tyrion could die.
Tyrion's not going to die tomorrow. They talked about how smart he is. Everyone was just talking about his genius. He's going to pull a plan out of his ass.
Yeah,
and the crypts,
like you said, Game of
Thrones
is known for like killing characters who aren't like who shouldn't be dead at that point in the story.
That's true. I hope next episode it's not exactly who I think is going to die, because it seemed very heavy-handed. Like the crypts are so safe. Like that was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. The way I looked at this episode was it was more of a eulogy before everyone dies, so that was kind of nice.
I was talking about it with some other people the next day, and it reminded me why I love every single one of these characters in this story.
Yeah.
So that I'm going to be absolutely a blubbering mess, heartbroken this Sunday.
They really want to make sure that you remember everything that you love about them. Make sure you remember each person, and that make sure you feel things when they die.
Yeah.
Jimmy, this is a necessary evil for this season.
I get it. Like I love Game of Thrones. I just watch it. I don't watch it for the characters. So
yeah,
I know you like it.
With that in mind,
I'm sick of everyone that watches. I'm sick of everyone that watches it and they're so in love with characters, shaming me. Like you don't watch it. You just watch it for the dragons and the wars. Like, no, I like the plotting and the conniving. Like I like everything about the show. I just not attached. The only character I'd say I'm really attached to is Tyrion. Like that's the only one, because he's always been kind of the most interesting guy on the show.
Yeah, that's fair. Like coming from that perspective, I can 100% understand why someone wouldn't like the episode. I see a lot of like hot takes online who are like, when are we going to get to the war? When are we going to get to the battles?
Idiots.
Game of Thrones has had 4 battle episodes in 10 years.
Yeah, and I like
never been what the show is about.
I like the Bastard Bowl battle a lot, but the battles before all that, I can like I don't like just straight action.
Hard Home,
you guys know
Hard
that.
Home is fantastic, I think, too.
Which one's that?
When he goes north to the Wildling Village.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That was good.
Oh, and Tormund is a favorite, but that scene I thought was too much. Like he's good when he's doing the slight jabs, not when he's taking over. I thought the milk chugging was really like Super Troopers 2-esque humor.
Oh, I like that because it just showed that he's like a frat, basically a frat boy.
See, I did like that scene, but I do agree they've kind of Flanderized him the past couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should have, honestly,
he's become a cartoon.
He should have been the one who died last season when they went north of the wall.
Yes, he should have.
That would have been a gut-punching death for that whole episode, which I don't think we got any. We got what's his name? The Thoros, the guy with fire, who was like a third-tier character at best.
Yeah. No, that was a weak episode. That was the episode that made me hate Thrones a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it just is what it is after they pass the books.
So what do you think? What do you think? Here's my list of things from their foreshadowing that I think is going to happen. I know nothing. I don't really read into future theories about the show at all. Jon is going to ride a dragon during battle. Otherwise, they wouldn't have shown him riding a dragon already. Like that was so when it happens in battle, we can be like, he knows how to do this.
Sure. Okay.
The Crips are getting fucked up. It just
they're coming alive.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Crips are
Which is
coming
why
alive.
I think every character who's down there could die, and that's going to be like Tyrion, Varys.
We're gonna see Catelyn.
I wish that they didn't play it so heavy that the Crips are gonna, they like really.
I think it would be
what's gonna happen.
It would be a good twist now if nothing happened down there.
True.
really
But that's the whole point. Like that's the whole
Yeah.
point, though. Like they make the dead alive, and that's where all the dead are.
I
And
know.
how cool! I really want to see headless Ned Stark like running around. I want to see Catelyn. It'd be cool.
Would be cool.
It'd be kind of nice.
but
Like Captain
Ned
season.
Stark's body never made it back, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, I think they brought it back.
Did it?
We're gonna find out.
And I think Grey Worm's dying like first 20 minutes of the episode, first 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
See, I think the twist will be that Miss Andre, whatever her name is, she's gonna die, and like in the last episode when they're doing like where are they now, he's gonna be at Narth, like with her ashes or something, and like living the peaceful life she wanted.
I can see that happening.
But in my death pool, I have them both dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Should we talk about the
Sex scene?
Arya thing?
Oh yeah,
that the
Maisie
internet's
Williams, her
talking about?
tweet. So yeah, she everyone was freaking out about her having sex on camera, and the internet spiked immediately after Thrones. To the number one question asked on Google was, "How old is Maisie Williams?" 22 for those who wonder.
I googled it.
Yep. So she tweeted out, "If you feel uncomfortable, just know that my mother and my stepdad and my two sisters and my 4 brothers have all probably watched this too. Ha ha ha! Kill me, hee hee."
Want to know why
See,
I feel uncomfortable?
She's only 13.
I don't feel that like uncomfortable. She's in her 20s, the actress, and her character is supposed to be 18.
Yeah,
this
but she
point.
has the body of a 15-year-old. I
Yeah.
like know girls in college and stuff who they often get confused for like 14, 15 years old, because they have a body of a 14, 15-year-old. And it sucks for them. So this may be really rude, but I always thought any guy that was attracted to them was like kind of creepy because like
Yeah.
the common perception from the world is that that's a 14, 15-year-old. So the
That's-
fact that you're attracted to her creeps me out a little bit, even though she is 22.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's very unfair to Maisie Williams, but that's what my brain thinks.
No, that's fair. But I think part of that too is I feel like the show has dressed her that way, like purposely made her that way because she was supposed to be like a young and innocent character, and she was playing younger than herself. So I think they just kind of did that for too long, really. And people don't realize her character is supposed to be like 20.
Did you read that thing that said she was going to fuck the Hound, but she got cockblocked, so that's why she went to Gentry?
Yeah.
He sent that to us.
Oh, you did?
They
Yeah, I
just sent
did.
that to us. Yeah.
Oh, you sent us that in the chat. I thought you just said it right now. Yeah,
No,
that was eye-opening.
I was dying laughing when I saw that, and I was like, I can't not send this to the guys.
Do you think there's a shred of truth to that?
It's my headcanon.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Sansa went on Dr. Phil and said she was social media had her like so depressed.
I believe it, dude. Especially because she started on the show when she was like 12 or 13.
Yeah, she went through puberty on the show.
Yeah, it's rough. She got raped on the show.
Well, not actually.
We don't know that. It's all very real.
Yo, in a weird turn of events, or maybe this is how it is, I'm rooting for Danny third out of the 3 girls.
Oh, yeah.
I think Danny, so my theory is that I think Danny is going to be the final villain.
Yeah, I guess
I can see
that's common. Like, she is turning that way.
Yeah, because they've done a lot this season to really highlight, like, because she was so separate from everyone, you were always like, yeah, get vengeance, free slaves and all that. But now it's just coming across like she's just showing up and burning these people and killing families, and it's kind of brutal. Like, if you were on the other side, you'd be like, she's fucking awful.
Yeah, going through and telling people like, oh, yeah, but I'm sorry, I burnt your father. Oh, and your brother. And you have no family.
That thing where Sam was in episode 1, where Sam was like, well, at least I'll be able to go home because my brother's the Lord. And she's like, well,
nope.
No, I killed him. The look on that actor's, I don't even like Sam as a character that much, but he sold just the deepest heartbreak for that scene.
He's growing me. I always hated him as a character. Hated him. He's bumbling idiot walking across the screen. But now I'm like all on Sam.
He's dying next episode.
No. Sam Jr. is.
I don't know.
He's gonna get eaten by Catelyn Stark.
So it's a good, like, you can't pay attention to TV tropes because this has always bucked the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But if this was any other TV show,
Then
Sam's dead because he said the words, "I'll tell you after the war," or he said something like, "I'll see you after the battle," or "Tell you after," or "We'll talk."
What did he say that about?
I can't remember, but he said something like, "We'll talk after the battle," and that is a TV death sentence.
Yep.
Well, that's also true in Game of Thrones. The last words Ned Stark said to Jon Snow was, "I'll tell you next time I see you about your mother."
Yeah, I think that's what Sam said to Jon, something along those lines. So that's why I think.
Yikes. Yeah. Not good. Not good for Sam.
Yeah. All right.
So it's gonna be an hour and 20 minutes on Sunday. Should be a good set.
Hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, they added 30 minutes to it.
Feature length. The next 4 are going to be hour 20, hour 18.
Yeah.
I don't like how everyone can watch at different times.
Well,
what do you mean?
Luckily, you're not on the West Coast anymore.
On HBO Go, like in HBO Now, you can start it before it starts.
I don't
but
think
only
you can
by like a
before
minute
9 Eastern.
So.
What time does it air?
9 Eastern.
It airs at 9 Eastern. No matter where you are in the world, at 9 p.m. Eastern time, it's live on your platform.
Yeah, maybe. I felt like people were ahead of me, and I started.
There's a couple of times where it's like shown up on the app like 2 minutes early, but that's just because somebody fucked up and uploaded it early. But
Yankees play at 4 on Sunday, so that brings us to 7. 1 hour podcast brings me to 8. Editing brings me to 9.
I hope you get a rain delay.
Rain delay or extra innings. I just have to. Well, actually, the Sharks went into overtime last Sunday, and double overtime they went into. And I was like, I wanted to watch Game of Thrones, but I was watching the Sharks, and I was pissed off. They went into second overtime. I was like, God damn it! Quit playing Thrones. And then it was an episode I could have. It was a second screen episode anyway.
Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. All right, moving on from you. Movies coming out this weekend, nothing big. Aurora is coming out on Netflix. It's a foreign thriller film. I watched the trailer, and you'll never believe this. I didn't understand a word they were saying. And then Avengers Endgame is coming out today. We're recording this on Wednesday because Dave and I are going to be watching the movie at this time tomorrow night for all night long. It's a 3-hour movie.
3 hours and 58 seconds.
Yep, and then we are going to be recording our review afterwards, like midnight or so.
Tomorrow night. So tonight, if you're listening to this the day it comes out.
And then Jimmy's going to whip that up for us real quick and publish that bad boy out at 2 a.m.
Friday, yeah. Or probably when he wakes up Friday.
No, he's got to crank that out.
Friday, Yankees play at.
Well, no, you just have to edit and release the episode Friday.
Yeah, but the Yankees play at 10:15, so I'm going to be up till at least 2 in the morning.
Yeah, but Friday you'll be wake.
Oh,
so
it's
you'll
Thursday.
be up.
So Thursday. Thursday they play at 9.
Okay, so
And I have to record a podcast.
So you'll be up. Cool.
Yeah, so I'll be up.
Nice.
I'll be up till 4 a.m. Thursday.
Nice. Editing our stuff for us. You're such a dear.
Yeah. Nice.
Unless you want to join and you want to watch the movie on Friday morning.
No, we did get a request for Jake to join with you guys and sub out for me.
Really?
There's no way he could watch it in time and do that.
Is he a Marvel guy?
Yeah, we were talking on Jomboy Jake Radio how I was.
Well, why didn't we know that? Well, we just easily swap you guys out for these movies.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt he's as Marvel as you guys.
Well, we don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that.
But
you're
no,
not
there's
even
no
close
way
to
he's going to
Marvel.
be
We've been
watching.
doing this for 2 years, and you haven't told us this. What the fuck?
Well, I don't know if he's a Marvel guy, but he's seen some of the movies.
Okay. Well, I mean, last time we tried to get Jake on here, you were like, well, he can't remember more than 10 minutes of a movie. I think he's seen 3 movies in his life.
Yeah, I don't think.
Pretty
he's a
sure
big
that
movie.
was like your words.
Well, he kind of watches movies like you, Sheehan, so it'd be really funny.
Well,
He
that's
says,
just straight
like-
That
offensive.
would be a good episode. Them
He's
just like being
he's like, I don't think about
I'm
anything. I just
slowly
turn my
looking
brain
at
off
you.
and they just tell me a story.
Oh my god, man.
So if you guys were like talking about movies together, I don't know what you would say to each other.
I'm just picturing me getting more and more aggravated and like descending into madness listening to it.
That was the meanest thing you said to me in the past 2 years.
You said that yourself. That you
Yeah,
those were
but then
your
he's like,
words.
well, we just got through talking about how he doesn't watch movies and he doesn't retain anything. You're like, yeah, he watches them like you.
No, it's a different point.
Okay.
You have a memory. Jake doesn't have a memory.
Oh, yes. I'm a storytelling guy.
Well,
But now I'm not. Now I'm looking for all the fucking metaphors, the screen grabs of the angles, the Dutch angles, and the focal rackings and the cliche. I'm looking for it all now.
nice. That's
I'm
good.
trying.
That's good.
Excuse me for trying to better myself.
No, it's great. We like it.
No, I know. I dip myself into a little sense of security, thinking that I could just go to movies and enjoy myself. No, not on your watch.
You can. It makes for an entertaining listen for some people, but when you listen back, you're not happy with yourself. That's the main issue.
This all stemmed from Us, right?
Yes.
And
Us was terrible for me.
Murder on the Orient Express.
That was admittedly bad. Yes.
And there was one other where you just had no idea what was going on.
Sure.
I like it though because it's not every movie, but it's like one movie every like 5-6 months.
What was the other one, Dave?
I can't remember. I just remember dying laughing about it.
Yeah, because it's the reason why is 'cause I made like an actual point not to look at anything until we talked about it, so I couldn't just like go online and read a review. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I do it in front of you guys, so you're welcome.
All right.
Outlaw King, but that's because you never watched.
Yeah, that was tough for me.
That wasn't your fault.
Oh, the end of the fucking world. I didn't quite care about as much as you guys.
Yeah,
you
but
also
you just
really
didn't
like
like
that.
it.
You like that horrible disaster movie.
Yeah, I did. I did like that one.
That was bizarre.
I know.
That was bizarre.
But then you kept reminding me, like, yeah, well, why'd they go into the hot spring and nothing happened? I was like, that's right, nothing did happen from that. That was odd.
Well, hey guys, we got a whole back catalog. Go listen to them. Tons of movies we've reviewed.
Yeah, they're pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps this up. Check us out on Friday morning. We're going to be releasing our Avengers Endgame review with tons of spoilers, because obviously. Check us out next week. We're coming back. We're not going to do anything Monday. Check us out next Friday for our headliners again. We're back to the usual schedule. Follow us at Six Pack Cinema on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then our website, sixpackcinemapodcast.com on JomboyMedia.com.
Jake
Cool.
Media.
Jake Media, it's even better. Yeah. All right.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Fuck you.
Ooh.